Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. This is, my first video in 2 weeks. Went on a work trip, had to be out of town for 2 weeks, out of contact. I made some regular posts, but I didn't really have a lot of time to shoot videos. I did maybe 2 or 3 shorts from the Airbnb I was staying in. I didn't have much with me. Now, right before I left, I got a Lenovo Legion Go S, and I took it on the trip with me. So I really got to sit down with this one and go through it. Now, before we jump in, for those of you that read my post right after I got back about losing my niece, I would like to say thank you for those who have messaged, left comments, and signed that petition for me. It was a pretty difficult thing to deal with while being away from my family for that long and knowing I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my wife. I was waist deep in mud running power and ground wires to a tower when I heard, and it leveled me. I absolutely collapsed in the middle of a field and completely lost it. But I was there for a job, so I did what you're supposed to do. I got up and kept working. Now, the sponsor of my channel, my best friend, was with me on this trip, and he was understandably the same. He was right there with me. He spent a lot of time with her, and that was like his daughter too. So, now, I apologize for the background noise in my office right now. Normally it's quieter because I'm here all the time. In the 2 weeks while I was gone, my coworkers have flooded my desk with all kinds of stuff. I have computers everywhere turned on so you can hear those. We got phones in here to be worked on, and the alarms keep going off, and we can't shut them off, well, because the screens are broken. So you're going to have to deal with a little background noise. All right, so we're going to move past the personal family stuff. I didn't post any pictures of her because I didn't think that was right, but thank you guys for reading that, responding, and signing that petition. It means a whole lot to me, more than you could imagine. So here we have the Lenovo Legion Go S, 8-inch screen. This is the low boy. This is the 16 gig, 512 internal model. We picked it up for just south of $700 before leaving on this trip. Now, while I was on the trip, all these went up in price, not even by a little bit. At about $700, I was really pleased with this. That made it very doable, very, very good for the price. I wasn't sure when I picked it up. Doing PC repair and things like that, Lenovo's one of my brands that I hate the most. Okay? I get a lot of Lenovo and Acer in here, and I really dislike both those brands. They always have issues, with the exception of companies like iBuyPower and CyberPower, whose PCs are in here a month after purchase because they're trash. And if you have one, pay attention. A lot of times I say that liquid cooled bullshit. Yeah, pay attention, please. If you have one of those, stop what you're doing, turn your computer off, check it out. If you don't, you'll be in a repair shop, and most repair shops around, especially around here, will not deal with liquid cooled. We'll yank that shit out and put something else in. So I dislike the brands. Now, Lenovo is a special one I dislike. When I started doing what I do, I had a work computer that was a Lenovo laptop. I drove 2 hours away from my office. I just got it set up. It was new out the box. Got everything I needed to work on it. Got to a customer's house, opened it up, and the hard drive died. Everything was done. Got it back to my repair shop before I did computer repair. And, yeah, the whole thing was bricked. So Lenovo caused me a really bad day. So I dislike it. So getting Legion Go S was a difficult thing for me because I didn't know if I would like it. And it's really hard to enjoy something from a brand you know to be trash. You're looking for any reason to dislike it. And I have to be fair, I was looking for any reason to dislike it. Now, with handhelds like this, you are fully aware the battery life is horrid. Okay, everybody knows that. So that's not a negative on Lenovo. That's a negative on PC handhelds in general. You're not getting much out of the battery life. I know while I was away, me, a buddy of mine, actually two buddies of mine, we were staying in an Airbnb, and there was a night where I had the Legion Go out. One of them had an MSI Claw, the AI 8 Plus, whatever. Anyway, and another one had the Xbox Ally. And all three of us were sitting around playing Division 2 together. Ran beautifully, but this one was the loudest in the room. The fan is like a jet going off in the back, and it's on constantly. Now, with this little Go S, the SteamOS version, you can't really adjust the fan. You can get some stuff to give you access, but right off the bat, you don't have access to the fan. You can change your performance profile and try and mitigate it that way, but then, of course, performance is going to suffer. Now, so far, everything I've played on this has been perfect. I run a lot of Cyberpunk on this, and yes, this is, I'm not kidding, the Z2 Go version, the SteamOS 16 gig 512 of RAM. I've been running Cyberpunk on it, Ghost Recon Wildlands last night because I was bored, Division 2. I've seen people run that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on it. I mean, it's, yeah. It has worked out for $700. Now, since the price increase, they run about $1,000. I don't know if it's worth that. That's a hard pill to swallow. Knowing I just picked it up for $680 and change, which is trying to get you closer to the price if I can remember it, but that's about $300 less than it is currently. I don't know if I would spend the extra $300. Now, if you go up and add another $600 to it, you can get the Z1 Extreme 32 gig 1 terabyte SteamOS version. I mean, I got a page pulled up for them all right here. I'm looking at it. You can get Windows versions. Now, when I made a post about the price tags at Best Buy and how it looked like the Go S was cheaper than just the regular Legion Go 2, that was accurate at that location. They jacked up the Go S prices. Now, somebody got on there and messaged, just because one's a Windows version and one's a SteamOS. No. The Go S has both Windows and SteamOS. Okay, they're one, yeah, they look the same, two different versions there. You can get a white one, that's the higher ones, or you can get this blue one. The Go 2 is just the AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme. That's a big boy. I mean, you can get a lower one, of course. That's just the Z2 16 1 terabyte. But still, the ones I were looking at were both big boys compared side by side, and the Go S was going for more. Let me get Cyberpunk loaded up for you guys. Now, like I was saying with battery dies a couple hours. You're going to get, not even a couple hours, something like Cyberpunk, I'm going to get an hour out of it before it dies. Lower end games, adjusting your performance profile, you can get a good amount out of it. So if I were to sit around and play, let me think about this. Sit around and play something less, I could probably get a few good hours out of it. There we go. Let me see if I can. I know you can't hardly see it, but there is a performance overlay on right here. Looks like I am at a stable 30 FPS where I'm at now. And because I have it capped, sitting at 30 FPS. Now this is running beautifully. I have played, and I started an entire playthrough just to play on this, and I have had zero problems. I had one crash playing Division 2. There was a lot going on the screen, and I got up, turned around, and fired off some explosive all at the same time with a bunch going on, and the screen just froze and kind of crashed. Don't know what that was about, but I've never had another crash. Now, keep in mind, I dislike Lenovo while I talk about this. Do I like Lenovo now? No, not at all. I still absolutely hate most of their products. I do like this though. This Go S, this base model, which for most of you, this base model, this 16 gig model right here, will handle business. This will be everything you need. You don't need anything but this. I'm honestly, it does everything I want it to do. I haven't had any problems with it. And we're going to talk about ergonomics and all that. I know you guys have been on my channel before. You know I like to talk. I like to drone on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have some fun here. Let's get something going. Knife versus car. Nope, didn't work. John Wick this up a little bit. Anyway, so Cyberpunk, I can get into it, but let me tell you, it will run Cyberpunk just fine. Now, I have not changed any of the performance on it. This is default profiles. I haven't adjusted anything for reference. All right? It being locked at 30 FPS is naturally like that. I could change it, yes. Do I want to? No, don't feel like it. I like to run most of these things, if I can, just the way they come. I want to know. Because I can get in here and tweak it and get it to do things it shouldn't. I got the ring lights. Yeah, they work just fine. And this red, don't let that freak you out. That's because it's in performance mode. Let's see if you can hear the fan. Especially now that I'm out of a game. So, going through this, I've downloaded a bunch of random stuff. So, like The Ascent. This is a really fun top-down shooter. Beautiful, like, background world. If you've never played The Ascent, go to CD Keys, pick it up. It's like $2-3. It's an interesting game. It's worth it on a night where you're really bored and want something different to play. Think, Diablo style, but top-down shooter set in like a cyberpunk-ish world. The Ascent, like my work computer that I'm using to stream on or record on, cannot run this game. Okay? The first time I turned The Ascent on here, it took a minute to boot. I thought it was going to do the same thing. Nope, runs perfect. Dome Keeper, of course, just fine. I really enjoy Dome Keeper. Cyberpunk. Haven't tried Cuphead yet, but I am sure it runs fine. Enter the Gungeon. I haven't tried Gotham Knights yet. Hades 2 works beautifully. If Cyberpunk works, most of these will work. High on Life, working beautifully. Jump Space works fine. Octopath, Persona 5, all these are running amazing. Okay? Suicide Squad, drains your battery just as bad as Cyberpunk, runs perfectly fine. I picked that game up for a couple bucks on CD Keys also, and every time I turn it on, I go through the beginning tutorial where you got to get all the people together, and then by the time I get that done again, I just stop playing. Not that I think it's a bad game, it just kind of loses my interest, and now it's in this cycle of being worse because I'm doing the same part over and over. Was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands a little last night. Really enjoyed it. However, when you get into certain games, the right stick has a weird control configuration set to it. And I went into Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I can walk with this, and I can look with this. But when I went in to aim, this stopped working. And then I noticed while I was moving this, I could not move this. I would have to stop moving, use this to turn. So, of course, I start looking at stuff. I can't figure it out immediately. I was tired. So I pull up some posts, and people are like, oh, try this. Press these buttons and hard reset and calibrate your joystick. And naturally, like most stuff you look up on the internet, did not work for me. Okay? That seems to be the MO here. Doesn't ever work for you, but somebody out there said it worked. So I went in and started playing with the controller profile and found out that this is set to random things like joystick or whatever, but you can change what it does on a per game basis, and I went in and changed it to movement. That way, or, screen aim, whatever it was called. And then it was perfect. Then I could aim and look, I can move this and look, and then I got into a helicopter and couldn't use it. Figured out that I had to go through each tab for general gameplay, aiming, vehicle controls, all that, and set the same profile for that stick. It took 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we were off and running. ran perfect. Ergonomics wise, this is actually a really comfortable handheld. The way they did these corners where they're rounded and sloped, where they have this, it's not even a super gradual slope. It really does kind of slope hard on here, if you can see it. Like, it just drops, That makes it oddly comfortable. The sticks are in a perfect position. I am a D-pad top kind of guy, but for PC handhelds, naturally, stick top is better. And I only say that because of Xbox controllers. You're playing AAA titles. You've probably played most of them with an Xbox controller. Now, on my retro handhelds, D-pad top all day long. I don't care about your opinion. That's the best. Because I'm gonna play a lot of RPGs and enjoy a lot of PS1 and whatnot. I don't need the stick. Okay. Anyway, so my fingers naturally rest at these points, just like they would an Xbox controller. The D-pad is almost perfectly sized. If anything, and this isn't, I'm not saying it is, but if anything, it might be a hair too small. It is bigger than the Allies. If I remember correctly, I believe that D-pad is actually kind of tiny. It is this little concave thing here. It is comfortable to use. It has nice little soft kind of thump feedback, not super clicky. Phase buttons, got that regular controller click, man. The sticks are very smooth. Very, very smooth. They feel great. Bumpers and triggers feel wonderful. These triggers back here feel like, an Xbox wireless with a Pro 2 wireless controller. And then you got your little slide on the back here. So I can change the travel. I have it set to really shallow travel right now. Unless I'm playing a racing game, I'm fine with really quick, snappy, trigger buttons. Now, if I go in and play a racing game, I might even have these staggered, quick brake and full range of motion for the gas pedal on a car. I really enjoy Need for Speed Unbound and like to play it on and off. And hell, I might download it on here to see how it runs. Now, these useless ass back buttons that 90% of you do not use, and I say 90% because I have talked to people that have programmed these for random stuff, and they really, once they get used to it, they really enjoy it. These are completely useless to me. When I get a PC handheld or any controller out there, because every damn thing you buy nowadays has those useless ass buttons that I don't believe anybody ever asked for, you got to ask yourself, am I going to accidentally hit that button all the damn time? Since picking up the Go S, I have never accidentally hit those buttons. I honestly, if you're hearing it, these are the first times I'm really ever pressing it. Yeah, not been a problem. I don't know why people are doing this. It'll never change. It's like all the companies that release handhelds and do like the one-off thing where it's like, oh, it's perfect, but yeah, they always do a one-off thing. Keeps you coming back, man. Or they're just stupid. Which the longer I'm in this industry, I'm starting to believe manufacturers and companies that make these handhelds are honestly just stupid and they don't game. They don't know. They just build the product. They sit there and go, hey, these dumbasses will eat anything we sell, so let's just start selling some trash. And they don't actually test their products or use them in any way, shape, or form. They might have a gamer or two on staff, but it's probably not the guy making decisions. He's probably the guy putting in all the damn hard work, doing what he's told, and making these things happen, but we'll never get to hear about them. So, yeah. You can tell I'm a little sour about that comment, huh? I've worked some jobs where I've brought companies in millions of dollars. And after I did it and was successful and feeling like my career was going somewhere, got laid off. Not where I'm at now. It was a different company, and they can suck eggs because they have folded now, and I think it's hilarious. So walking around the handheld, you got an on-the-go port, power port, 3.5 jack, Ambernick. Yes, even this has a 3.5 jack. This is a big, expensive boy. They took time to throw in that $1 jack. Yes, the RG Rotate is what I'm talking about. I am on the side of I would like a 3.5 jack. I have one in all my handhelds. However, I barely ever use it. But it's nice to have. Am I ever going to use it? Probably not. Now, which a lot of people aren't thinking about on the Rotate, though, is just buy USB-C headphones. I mean, it's an Anbernic RG Rotate. It's not going to be hi-fi lossless audio. It's just going to be audio. So USB-C headphones will probably do just fine. On the bottom, all you have is screws and an SD card slot. On the back, your two bullshit buttons and your trigger locks. Nothing on the side because PC handhelds, yeah, don't need a bunch like that. And then you got your power button. So, let's walk around the face. So over here, we got the Steam button. And over here, we got the Lenovo button. So I can open up the Steam menu, go back to my library. If you're in a game that for some reason has issues letting you see how to quit and exit the game, you can open this up at any point in time in the game. It'll have your game title sitting above home. You can go to it, go down, hit quit game for a quick exit. That's actually really nice. Over here, like I said, you have your Lenovo menu. This performance overlay is what you were seeing while I was playing Cyberpunk, where I had the whole readout over there. I can turn it all the way off or have very little on there. It shows my battery life. In my current state, just sitting idle, shows I have about 7 hours and 33 minutes of battery. 90 minutes the longer I sit idle. It's like the gauge, the eco gauge on your vehicle when you're driving. And it's like estimated you're getting 20 miles of the gallon or 30 miles of the gallon. Then you stomp on your gas because you're pissed off at the guy next to you, or someone was, driving really slow in the fast lane. You rip around them and you look down and it says estimated gas mileage 6 miles an hour or 6 miles a gallon. It's like that. Frame limiter. So when you do pick one of these up, go in and go ahead and knock it up to that 120 FPS, 120 hertz. It makes just the user interface a lot smoother. A lot of times, like when I went into Best Buy before I took that picture of the little price tags, they had one of these out for display next to a go-to. You swipe your hand on the go-to, everything transitions smooth and beautiful. And yes, it's a better, higher refreshed screen. That one's 144, this one's 120. Then I went over to the Go S they had on it, and I swipe on it, and it's like using a Temu tablet or an old school Kindle, like the first touch one where you swipe, and it takes a noticeable amount of time. Not a super long time, but a noticeable amount of time, and then it moves. Turn that up, everything starts running smooth. And I did it on the display model, too, because I felt like that's a little false advertising. That's making it look like it's worse than it is. Especially for the new prices on them, you want them to look the best. So I haven't played around much in this menu, but here we get friends, chat, notifications. Naturally, we get on-the-go settings. So quick on-the-fly settings here. You can also change a lot of these settings in the Steam menu. Got audio settings. Here's for Wi-Fi settings. This was that performance menu, and I can hit this drop down, and I can change like over to balance. Now you see the light on top is white. Back to performance, it goes red. Low power mode, it's a bluish color. So I'm going to go back to performance. So you can use per game profile. So you can kind of set it up as you go. Down here we get soundtracks and a little music sidebar. Kind of makes me want to put on some Dungeon Crawler Carl on the side so I can play a game and listen. But yeah, I still use this little bad boy for my Dungeon Crawler Carl fix. One of the better $60 electronic devices I've bought. Absolutely love this thing. And once again, with the you should just use your phone, I figured out a good comeback to that. When we were driving back from Wisconsin, it's like a 16-hour drive. A buddy of mine that was driving was playing Dungeon Crawler Carl, and he's a busy guy, does what I do. So his phone nonstop gets notifications and texts. So while we're driving, it would be 5 minutes of dialogue and then a random just quiet pause because notifications are coming in. And then at certain times in the day, it was rapid. So suck eggs to all of you that say use phones. And then you have a help button. Then start and select. There you go. Now, let's talk about something else. While I was out, all I had was this before I left. I didn't have a case for it, nothing. So I was a little panicked. I went to Walmart and they sold this little gray $20 range bag in the sports and outdoor section. It's a gray bag. It has two pockets on the front, one big pocket on the back, red little, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, red things on the zippers. if you know what I'm talking about, this fit in there, but it offered very little protection. So I used some packing foam and cut them out large enough for the screen and just the back here. Stuck it in there and used that to carry this until I got out there. Now, while I was out there, I come across the Lenovo sling bag and the case. Yes, this case is massive, so let's set it down. I looked at the sling bag, which is about $10 more, but the sling bag offers as much protection as a Walmart bag, as a grocery shopping plastic bag. It is terrible. It looked decent, but it's absolutely good. It offers no protection. You're screwed if something happens. I mean, you drop that bag with your go in it, and that go is done. So I picked this up for, I don't know, relatively cheap. I think they're like $15-20 depending on when and where you get them. Now they have little Velcro pockets right here for something. Right there. My intention was to stick a little bit of foam in there for extra protection because this has a very thin layer of foam protecting it. And yeah, it doesn't do that good of a job. On the top, they have the indents for the controller or for the controls. That way, when you stick it in here, this protects all of that, reaching down to, this protects all of this, reaching down to the joystick. And then this one only has this little indent because all it has to do is protect that joystick and not the D-pad. It has the little Lenovo Legion stuff on the outside, but it is super thin and it doesn't offer much protection. And let me show you what I dislike about it. This is always bad news for a case. So here's my handheld. If you can hear this, I'm pressing the joysticks with ease. I can feel them almost perfectly. I can tell it's right there. I can tell that's right. You can feel it right through it. So even those little indents are there, making the joysticks really close to the top of this, which is why I can feel them. I get it's a design thing. I hate being able to press joysticks through a case. So I'll be hunting down some case out there. There's a guy that makes cases for handhelds. He'll never make one for one this big. Wish he would, because he sells some of the best cases I've ever used. I buy them for like my Analog Pocket, my Chromatic. He has a page that does secondary sales on Blemish 3D prints and sells them for $15 instead of $50. Every little Blemish print I've ever bought off him was, I would absolutely have been happy if I paid $50 for it. There was nothing too wrong with it that I couldn't deal with it, knowing it's a 3D printed item. Anyway, so Lenovo Legion Go S, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 internal storage, has the AMD Ryzen Z2 Go in it. I believe this handheld runs as good as it does because it has Steam OS on it. Now, I was never a fan of the Steam Deck, but I do in general like Steam OS. I'm not doing any emulation on it. I have other handhelds for that. When I buy a purpose-built handheld like this is meant for Steam games. I'm going to play Steam games on it. The only cross, contamination I have is my AYN Thor, where I have Game Native and Game Hub to play some lightweight Steam games. Other than that, that's what I'm going to do on it. I'm not going to do emulation because it's going to run everything I want to play perfectly. My desire for emulation caps out around PS2 and GameCube, so I don't need too much there. Now back to the pricing. We glossed over this. Going from $700, which, like I said, was a good deal. Best Buy normally has open box deals also. A lot of times those open box deals are somebody bought one, like in the case of the Xbox Ally, bought one, got the 3 months of free Xbox, and took it back. Happens all the time. The Xbox Ally we picked up while we were away for a buddy of mine, that was the scenario for the Xbox Ally he bought. It was untouched inside. The people got the code for 3 months of free Xbox and returned it immediately. Same day return, didn't even have, it had never been turned on. You can tell no one's touched this. It's dumb. But you can get them there. People do that. You're not going to get your 3 months of Xbox Live or Ultimate for the Ally there. Camera, hey. Really? Now we're going to lose focus. I hate you, camera. Drag you back down. Hello. Well, while we talk, I'm going to jump in here and configure the focus on this camera because it's doing whatever it wants. Let's turn off autofocus and bring it into focus. Okay. That's close enough for the end of the video. All right, wrapping up at $700 or on the clearance section of things, it's a safe buy. As it stands for a retail price, do I recommend it? Not a chance in hell. Do not go out and spend $1,000 on this. There are better options. Honestly, performance was pretty damn close to the base model Xbox Ally you can get at Walmart for $600. I do believe this will perform probably a little better than that overall, but for $600, that Xbox Ally was a solid pick. It was playing Division 2 with us perfectly. Screen is beautiful, and of course, in my opinion, the ROG Ally has the best audio in the business. I don't know if you care, but that's my opinion. So, unless you really want to, don't waste your money on it. If you're going to get a Steam or Legion Go S, and you kind of max out with the games like I like to play, like Cyberpunk and shit, you're good here. Don't spend the $16, $17. I mean, spend your money how you want. My opinion, the base model is everything I need it to be and nothing more. So, yeah. There we go. And do your best to find a better bag or case for it, because that's some bullshit. Alright, I don't think there's much else I can cover on it. Yeah. So it being Friday, I'm sorry this is the only video you guys got this week. I got in late the other night. Those of you that read my post know I have a lot going on going into next week. Her funeral will be Tuesday, so yeah, I'll be carrying her then. I'm trying not to stay on that topic. It's all I can think about right now. So yeah, I will do whatever videos I can afterwards. I'll probably need a day or so to get my mind right, or even have the will to do anything. I found this video even hard to start. So those of you that bared with me this far into the video and listened to me drone on for what has been 32 minutes and 30 seconds-ish now, I appreciate you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a post last night about my niece passing away in a car accident, and there's a petition to get a stoplight at the location that she was hit at. From what I've been told, a lot of people get into car accidents throughout the year there. More than one person have been lost there. And the town of Atoka, Oklahoma, I believe Atoka, Oklahoma, is too cheap to put in a stoplight. They're saving money for whatever, just pad their bank account. They don't care about the people that live there and them constantly getting into accidents there. It is taking loved ones from families. It is taking kids from their parents, and my niece from me. So she was a good kid. She every summer with me. She was actually coming down this upcoming summer. She was going to take time off work and spend it at my house because, you know, I've been with her since she was a baby, and she was now working a job, and she was going to take vacation to come do what she loves, which is spend time at my house with my family. Last time I seen her, I told her I had all kinds of new handhelds for her to test out and mess around with. I had new verticals for her to play with. She really enjoyed the 40XXV. So yeah, I need to get off that subject. Okay. Like I said, I'll do what I can video-wise going into next week. If I get a chance, I'll try and do something this weekend. I'll be preparing for next week this weekend, so I'll do what I can, guys. Those of you that stayed with me and didn't just abandon the channel while I was gone for 2 weeks and while I'm going through this, thank you so much. The Legion, I depend on you guys. I rely on you guys. I'm there for you. That's what we're about. Be there for me. We're trying to get this community to do things the right way. And I'm trying to be transparent with everybody, which is another reason why I posted what I did. I'm an open book. Just ask. So I'll see you guys next week. I'll do what I can. I'm going to try and not talk about what goes on Monday and Tuesday. I do got more handhelds to review. Go Game Geek did make things right. They sent me a new mini long, and guess what? All the buttons work perfect. There's no hard pressing shit. It works fine. So we'll discuss all that. I got some new stuff to play with and let you guys check out. All right, I'm going to get off here and start my work day. Hopefully, I have entertained you for the last 35 minutes. Most of you jumped ship after about 8. So if you're still here, you're the real one. You're why I'm here. You are Legion along with me. See you guys next week.